Welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today we are going to be making a vinyl project. So we are going to be making a super cute football sign. So it is football season, it is fall, and we have been doing a football series all week long, so make sure you guys check out the other videos. We'll have those linked above or down below so you guys can check those out. So what I have already done is I cut out some adhesive vinyl with my Cricut. So I use my Cricut Explorer 3, but you could definitely do this with your maker machines. You can do this with your Silhouette. But what I've done here is I've already cut out black as well as brown. So I did both of these with matte materials. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is use this wooden sign. These are at Hobby Lobby, and these are actually wooden canvases. So as you guys can see, $9.99, they're always half off, so it's $5. Super affordable, but you can definitely pick up these wooden signs at any local craft store. Another thing that we're gonna be using is some transfer tape as well as our weeding tool. Now, like I said, I've already pre-cut these. I'm gonna have the file down below for you guys. It's only 1+ credit, so you guys definitely don't wanna miss this. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is weed both of these out. Like I said, I've already cut them. I went ahead and cut these on the permanent settings. I will have the size down below. If you guys want to know the exact dimensions that I cut this is for a 10 by 10 signs. So if you guys want those exact dimensions, let me know, and I'll definitely have them down below for you guys. You guys let me know if you guys love football. What's your favorite team? I want to know down below. What are some things that you guys like to do whenever it is football season? So we absolutely love football. It's more of local football. We have, our son played football for a few years, and our daughter actually was a cheerleader for the Pee Wee. So we are fans of football in general. So we really love to decorate the house. I love to put up the wreaths and things like that. So what I like to do when I'm working with something that's big like this, I'll cut down in between, just so I don't have these materials kind of drop on top of each other, so you guys will see that, and then I'll kind of set that aside. The weeding tool that I'm actually using today as well is, these are stab and grab, so there's some tweezers, so you can actually like stab it and then kind of pull like this as well. So that is what I am using. But you guys definitely make sure y'all check out my other videos. We're doing football all week long. There's tons of really cool football designs right inside of that Plus membership. Now, of course, you guys can find tons of football SVGs, PNGs, and all of those things on the site. But if you guys are Plus members, there is a lot of really cool ones. So you guys have definitely got to check it out. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to weed all of these pieces out here. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm remembering the pieces that we're keeping. So like this big piece here, this football is actually this brown piece here. So I'm going to get rid of all of these pieces here. We have some little tiny pieces there, as you guys can see. So I just want to make sure I'm not picking those up at the same time. So I'm just kind of holding those down with my weeding tool there. So we've got all of those little pieces there. And then, as you guys can see, this teensy tiny little piece, it actually belongs, it's part of this outline, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then we're going to go ahead and continue to weed this out. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. You could definitely put this on a t-shirt, coffee mug. So one thing to keep in mind with these SVGs and stuff, don't think of just putting these on a sign. If you see that we have demonstrated it on a sign or a t-shirt, you can still use these SVGs on other things. So I'm going to go ahead and weed out my last few pieces here, and we are going to be ready to go. I am a huge fan of matte. I really love the matte compared to the gloss, especially with these signs. I just think it looks more clean cut, especially it just looks hand painted to me. So instead of looking like that gloss shine in, really recommend that you guys check out the matte colors for adhesive vinyl. You could do this with removable as well as permanent. You could definitely do both. So we are ready to go. I believe I've got one teensy tiny piece here that I've messed up and missed. Now the way that this design is, this is going to intertwine between everything. So I'm going to lay this down first, and then I'm going to add my football. So let's go ahead and remove these corners here. Now, like I said, you could make these signs. You could definitely make these yourself, or you can pick them up at most craft stores. Another thing that I've even done in the past is I have picked up signs that were made from Hobby Lobby or whatever, from like garage sales for $1, and I've painted them, and then I've applied adhesive vinyl on top. So that's another thing that you can definitely keep in mind. Now that we have our sign prepped up and ready, let's go ahead and take a piece of transfer tape here. This one, for example, is on a roll. You may have some that has backing, but this one's just right here on a roll. I'm going to go ahead and get out about how big I need. So something about like this. I'm going to start in the middle. I'm just kind of folded it like a taco. So straight down like a taco, and then I'll cut away the excess. And I'm actually going to be able to use this for this piece as well. So let's go ahead and cut off this excess here. All right, so what we're gonna do is take our little scraper tool here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and smooth everything out and pick up the material. So basically what we're doing is we're picking up that adhesive vinyl on our transfer sheet. So we're just gonna go ahead and rub until we think we've got everything attached. And then what we're gonna do is flip it over and remove our backing nice and slow. So if you kind of fold it over at an angle, and peel. One thing that you want to make sure you're paying attention to is where's your hanger? Make sure that you have that in the correct direction if you guys plan on hanging this on the wall. And then we're gonna go ahead and fold this like a taco. You could definitely add a piece of parchment paper. That's gonna help this not stick until you're ready to commit. But I just kind of hover above here and then kind of get that nice and centered somewhere about there. And I think that looks good. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and take my squeegee and I'm gonna go ahead and rub everything down until I've got it to now adhere to the sign. Once you think you've done a good job there, we're gonna go ahead and fold it at an angle just like this. And it should easily peel right up. Now, if this starts to try to come up, just fold it back down and rub. So just like that. Now let's go ahead and pick up our football. So we're gonna go back. So this is a super easy project, whether you guys are wanting to make some stuff to sell in a little booth or on Etsy or something like that, local swap sites, this would be a great one. Super duper easy, cheap, and it's really cute. Also, it would make a great gift for somebody that is a football fan. So now what I'm doing is I'm just gonna go ahead and cut down just like so. Now I wanna go ahead and point out right away that you wanna learn from my lesson. So whenever I was inside of Cricut Design Space, I went ahead and welded all of these together so they cut out at one time. What I would recommend doing is welding everything else together except for this piece right here. Because this piece with these little pieces was supposed to go on top, you know, for the little markings, and that's okay. What I can do is I can go ahead and cover those up with our football. I can go back, recut these again. I can actually go ahead and remove these, and that way they're not underneath, and then we can lay this down. What I'm actually gonna do, this will be a good lesson here. Since it's still, I'm doing it right away while it's fresh, I'm gonna attempt to try to save these by peeling these and putting them over here, and then I will hand place them. Because it is just a couple, we should be able to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and run through here. I'm gonna speed it up so that way we can see if we can save this. Luckily, as you guys can see, I was able to save those. I just put this back on that backing of this football one. Doesn't matter, just a clean backing. And that way we can put them back. So now we're ready to go. What we're gonna go ahead and do is apply our football here. All right. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. So as you guys can see, these pieces are a knockout. They're just gonna kind of intertwine with each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my little squeegee here and rub this down. And then we're gonna go ahead and peel. How adorable is this? So you could definitely just leave it like this, or you can go back in. So see, even if you made the mistake that I did and welded everything, it's not that big of a deal. But if you definitely want those little pieces, now we can go back in here and we can lay these pieces right inside, just like so. So as you guys can see, now with those little outlines there, that just gives it that little extra zazz. But I think this one came out very, very nice. Once again, whether you're making these to sell or whether you are making these as a gift or for yourself, I think this is a super easy beginner project. All you're simply gonna do is bring this SVG inside of Cricut Design Space or your Silhouette, whatever cutting machine you have, size it out, and cut it out. So super duper easy to work with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.